To the crowd, don't need me in the shot lah. Otherwise very awkward.
I think it's like...
You started event already?
Yeah. The trouble is like this because they give me light stand. So...
They give you a light stand?
Yeah, so I had to use a light stand.
It's a bit...
Yeah, I cannot change anything. It's like...
lopsided.
You know those tripods have the knob at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
To change the direction, mine don't have. Mine is only lift up and down, so even if I think like this...
Streaming already or not?
Yeah, it's streaming.
Okay.
Just ask English.
Why don't you call her? She wants to reply like you.
Calling?
Hello, boss. Are we live? Okay. So I will sign in and then we just leave it here lah. Can? Okay. Bye. Hello, good evening. This is Happy TV reporting from Potong Pasir. Okay. Maybe let's flick to the empty stage first. Okay, we are at Potong Pasir at the SPP rally. SPP led by Mrs. Lina Chiam, who was the NCMP for one term since she lost to the PAP Sito Ipin in 2011. Now a bit about Mrs. Lina Chiam. She's the wife of Mr. Chiam Sitong, who has been a long-time MP of Potong Pasir. He is possibly the longest opposition politician ever in Singapore history, but unfortunately was elected out of his seat in 2011 when he decided to contest in Bishan Toa Payoh GRC. Leaving his wife, Mrs. Lina Chiam, to hold the fort in Potong Pasir. So Mrs. Lina Chiam unfortunately lost to the PAP, which is why she was NCMP. We are at the field outside SAJC. I'm going to pan to the crowd. The crowd is sparse, as you can see. There's probably about 50 people around, just waiting for things to happen. I wouldn't say it's a disappointing turnout. This is because there is another epic rally tonight at Serangoon Stadium where the Workers' Party is going to speak. This is the Workers' Party's alternate GRC team, which is the only opposition team to be running a GRC. So I guess there will be about like 50,000 people at Serangoon Stadium at this time, including people from Potong Pasir who are not here. So the rally has not started yet. I doubt it will start anytime soon. So we'll just flick back to the stage and, wait for things to happen. Hang in there.
Okay. He's wearing a saber, I think, yeah, but I don't know whether SK don't bother lah. No lah, he's a watch guy, seriously, he's wearing a
够。这是医院的吗？这是医院挺多。对，他们我去过一个。哦，他生理医院，两边都是医院。那怎么知道他在什么样呢？看什么样？或者跟他的那不搞笑了。两个医院。是这样子拍的吗？对，这个也很高。下一届大选我们就可以这边其实是哪里？就Google出那个有很多视频。就现在YouTube上有那频道有不断的看是吗？我在直播呢。那看很累。太早。让你拿手机不是下雨吗？有打。回到这个地方。好了，大家都很有话题，有大家。 有心境改变，心年轻。我得到了人民党的爱。
After everything, then I go back there.
There's nothing much to do for 3 hours. I just sit down here and watch.
Actually, I think I don't know whether they got double on me.
You want buy from them? Buy McDonald's or something.
Don't need, but because all the election I go, that's why all that.
Why you so 凶啊？不要这样凶啊！
No, I like just go home earlier, then can rest earlier.
This one won't end early, but it should start.
Oh yeah, I saw you. You can see me now? I'm at the stage now. I'm below the stage. Can you see me? Okay, I know where you are.
tell them, in 1959, PAP was also an untested opposition party. You gave them a chance, okay, and they gave you 30 good years, the left 10 good years. Now is the time, here is the place, the winds of change have come, okay? It's time for renewal. Wajah baru! Move on. Yalah, Pakatan Raya Singapura. Let's say Singapura. As Malaysia, you know Pakatan Raya. Pakatan Raya Singapura. No. That one is coalition government. Coalition. I think this time we have a strong back to the one. Depends on how badly the people want to send a message. Beer doesn't mean cold coffee. Your cold beer doesn't mean that you're cold. You're cold coffee. According to SMC, the man behind the camera. I'm a poser lah. This type of thing, Paul is a poser will never admit that I'm a poser. Rhetoric. 你说我已经出现比奥尔就要看了，
这边我上，这边我上上。要不要我就上来？我阿林。
大家晚上好。我是你们的司仪，我是你们的 MC， 所以你们随时要想激动上来说话，喊越大声，我可以完全控制。I'm your MC for today. This is a joke, but I can control the sequence of the speakers, and as you speak, as you shout, the louder it is. I want Mr. Cham Ji-tong speak. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. 大家晚上好。我的 Mandarin 华语可能说的不太好，所以你们要见谅。现在我身后的是新加坡人民党的候选人，还有一些很资深的候选人的朋友。时间不早，所以我们尽快开始。今天我们有11个候选人，还有候选人的朋友。11 candidates and friends of candidates speaking to you today. We'll start with the friends of the candidates, or we'll start with the candidates, sorry, and then the friends of the candidates before we end with your candidate for Potong Pasir and Mr. Cham Ji-tong. So let's clap our hands together. The first speaker is very special, friend of Benjamin Kui, also resident of Bishan Toa Thank you.
Hello， 大家晚上好，我是谢思林，我 是浦东发现隔一条街短白油居民，我也生长在短白油，40多年住在短白油，也在浦东发现。今晚很荣幸在这边跟大家见面，也很荣幸被邀请出来为大家讲几句话。我的儿童年在大概要浦东发现度过，非常非常愉快的童年，尤其在80年代、90年代的时候，我记得那时我们读书没有这样 stressful， 虽然没有 internet， 但是不用急。但是我们那时坐巴士2毛半，我觉得虽然不是很富裕，但是很开心。我童年是充满欢乐时光，尤其在浦东巴士这边，更很多东西可以玩，有鱼塘可以抓出来的，什么都可以。这个快乐时光到了90年代后期，突然间，我们的政府就提倡我们要翻新。刚开始的时候，我们很开心哇，到处翻新，说翻新好不好？大家说翻新好不好？
不好，太贵了。
有好也不好啦。我跟你说，我刚刚开始的时候是非常非常开心，因为有翻新耶，不用走楼梯，有电梯，跟学生翻新，每个地方游乐场都换。那后来我就觉得，有点不对劲嘞，因为每次翻新每次的物价都会翻一番。那到后来，整个大巴窑的巴沙、hawker center 都翻新。到后来，我们觉得唯一可以去吃东西的地方，而且不贵的地方，只有大巴窑巴巷的market。你知道为什么吗？因为 Mr. Chiang 有翻新，但是他慢慢的翻新，他会翻新的把价格放到我们人民的头上来。所以那时开始，我就非常非常敬佩 Mr. Chiang， 还有浦东巴士的居民。谢谢。Mr. Chiang, as you know, Mr. Chiang 在我们这一代人我现在40多岁，在我们这一代人的成长过程中，是一个非常非常贴切的，应该说是偶像啦。因为他是第一个或者第二个站起来敢跟政府说不的人，所以那时我就非常非常敬佩他。我觉得很难得，那时有70多80个议员，他是唯一，他跟 JB 讲然后是唯一2个肯站出来为我们说话，也放弃很多东西。我相信，如果他继续做 lawyer 做得好，他可以赚很多钱。不过他没选择这么做，因为他选择为我们服务。谢谢。我记得我那时90年代会经常过来浦东巴士，因为我觉得浦东巴士保持得很完美，不像短白油一直在换。我90年代来浦东巴士，我觉得很像我童年，因为这里东西都保持得很好。那我每次都会看到我们的 Mr. Chiang Meet the People Session 的铁皮屋，我觉得这个比大巴窑 RC 的那些 Meet the People Session 的那些房子更好。你知道为什么吗？因为每个星期 Mr. Chiang 都会在那边。我们在大巴窑要见 MP， 可能1个月只轮流看1次。跟这里完全不一样。我希望这样的精神会继续在我们浦东巴士跟大巴窑地上继续延续。还有这近10年来尤其从2005年过后，因为我在外国工作，我每次回来我就对大巴窑感觉越来越陌生了。在路边也好，在山歌也好，不仅仅是一直在翻新，不仅仅是东西越来越贵，最主要是我们周围的那些人已经很少新加坡人，我自己深深体会打个比方，今天我在广báo山歌给传单的时候，10个里面有至少5个，他们说不用传单，我不是新加坡人。我这样看下去，我很伤心。我说，几时新加坡变成这样子，跟我们小时候都不一样。而且 人与人之间的距离越来越远。我在这里附近只有一个地方我可以找到以前小时候的那种新加坡波东来的那种感觉啊，那个地方就是在波东巴西。我心里希望波东巴西可以继续这样走下去，但是4年前我有一点担心，可能那时4年前 Mr. 江刚刚去 run for 法白优，大家都对这里的心有一点质疑，但是这4年来，我可以跟你讲 ，Mr. 江其东是一个很成功的人，很多人都知道，每个成功男人的背后都有一个成功的什么？
女人。
这个成功女人是谁？
你呢？
李娜酱。也许波东巴西的居民4年前啊，对我们 Mr. 江有点质疑，但是这4年来，你只要看看他在Parliament的表现，前5名虽然是 NMP， 他问的问题，对我们民生的关心的问题，比其他人还多很多，所以我到现在完全不会质疑李娜强的能力。我以前只是尊敬他，现在我是佩服他。也因为有 Mr. Chang， 而且他的能力，让我们年轻一点啊，年轻不是很多，年轻一点的人都觉得 SPP 很有希望 ，SPP 可以赢回波东巴西 ，SPP 可以赢回比沙朵还优，所以很多我们这个年纪的朋友都站出来，我们这个团队只会越来越强。根本不用担心管理不好，比沙朵还要跟波东巴西。我希望在座的各位啊，波东巴西的朋友，比沙朵还有朋友，而且新加坡各处的远道来的朋友们，给我们 SPP 进入国会。重新进入国会的选票，让我们更好的帮你们代表你们，帮你们说话，给我们更多新加坡人更多生存的空间，更好的未来。谢谢大家。
恭喜你！
Thank you, Mr. Chia. Now, the second speaker is very special. She's the candidate for Mountbatten. 谢谢谢志玲先生。现在上来跟你们说话的这位女士，她是 Jeanette， 你们应该认识她，是曼波登的候选人。来，我们掌声鼓励。
恭喜你！
Dear voters of Potong Pasir and citizens of Singapore,
Yes!
I am Jeanette Chong Arodos, SPP's candidate for Mountbatten, SMC.
Yes, Jeanette, go! Go, Jeanette, go!
Today I'm so thrilled to be standing here in Potong Pasir in front of you, Potong Pasir voters. Potong Pasir is the smallest constituency in Singapore, but the biggest representation of democracy.
Yes!
For 3 decades, Potong Pasir has been an exceptional town, shining forth a light which burns brightly for the whole of Singapore to see. Mention Potong Pasir and every Singaporean knows your town.
Correct!
And for such reasons, the boundaries of Potong Pasir has never changed, even as other constituencies have been swallowed up, eaten, or otherwise disappeared from the face of the map. Potong Pasir has remained intact. I cannot explain to you why the powers that be have left Potong Pasir intact and undisturbed. You have been allowed to retain your boundaries and your identity, even as other Singaporeans like me have moved from Joo Chiat to Marine Parade without shifting my house. But perhaps it had something to do with Mr. Cham Si Tong.
Yes! Cham Si Tong! Cham Si Tong! Cham Si Tong! Cham Si Tong!
Most of the time, he was just one of two opposition MPs in Parliament, and there was even a time that he was the only one. For decades, Mr. Cham Si Tong has showed us how an opposition leader should be and why we need opposition MPs in Parliament. How many MPs are able to attract respect from all parties and all supporters across the political divide? The SPP represents a brand of politics that cuts across party lines, that places nation before party and citizens before self. At the SPP's rally in Mountbatten on Sunday, I don't know if some of you might have been there, Dr. Tan Cheng Bock, an ex-PAP MP and former presidential candidate, was present on the field. He reached out to shake Mr. Cham's hand. Both Dr. Tan Cheng Bock and Mr. Cham were on opposite sides of the political divide for decades, but they still respected each other as fellow comrades working for the good of Singapore. This is the type of politics Singapore needs. We may wear different party colours, but we play for one team, Team Singapore.
Yes! Majulah Singapura!
And Potong Pasir residents, because of your special place in Singapore's history, you are probably the most courted of all constituencies by the PAP. The PAP has tried to woo you with carrots, upgrading carrots.
We are not rabbits!
And what Mr. Goh Chok Tong would probably be described as pieces of meat. On August 3rd, 2015, just before campaign period was about to begin, Mr. Situ announced that HDB has given in principle approval for upgrading of 8 low-rise blocks of flats in Potong Pasir. Now this is the PAP's cynical strategy to announce upgrading plans just before general election, perhaps in the hope that you will want this upgrading enough to give PAP your vote again. Tonight I ask you to reject this brand of politics. That is a type of politics that knows the price of everything but the value of nothing. It is the politics of populism, not principle. And I ask you to send a message back to the PAP. If you are serious about winning the voters of Potong Pasir, give the residents of Potong Pasir the same upgrading that other constituencies have without strings attached. Win the hearts of the residents of Potong Pasir by hard work and sincerity, not bricks, mortar, carrot and stick. Win the hearts of Potong Pasir the way Mr. Cham did over the years. Today in history, more than any other time, We need Mr. Cham's brand of politics more than ever before. We need, more than ever, to keep Mr. Cham's flag flying. That is why I joined SPP. And this is the reason why I urge you to vote for Mrs. Lina Chiam and the SPP come polling day. I will give you 3 reasons to vote for Mrs. Chiam. First, Mrs. Chiam carries the torch of fearlessness. Mrs. Chiam never expected to go into politics. Unlike those selected through tea sessions by the PAP, she was not chosen through tests or rounds of interviews. She is not a scholar. She has no military rank or title.
General MRT cancel.
Until she became NCMP in 2011, she was a homemaker. And Mrs. Chiam is proof at how ordinary person can do extraordinary things. When the moment in history called on her, she stood up to the plate, contested in Potong Pasir, and lost by a narrow 114 votes.
Take back Potong Pasir, leader! Take back Potong Pasir!
Mr. Vivian Balakrishnan recently said that only the rich or corrupt would work for zero. Well, I have news for you. Mrs. Chiam is standing up for election, not for status or incentive, but out of a sense of duty and public service, because she wants to serve you, the people of Potong Pasir. In the course of the last 4 years, Mrs. Chiam has more than risen to the occasion. She has spoken up in Parliament 83 times out of 113 sittings. She is the MP who has spoken up the second most number of times in Parliament, more than many other PAP MPs. She is certainly making much better use of taxpayers' money than Mr. Raymond Lim, who has spoken up a grand total of 0 times. Or Mr. Goh Chok Tong, who has spoken up in Parliament once. Mrs. Chiam has shown that a homemaker can do better than handsomely paid ex-ministers in Parliament.
Yes! Well done, Lina!
And while the PAP MPs spend all their time having a go at our brothers and sisters in the Workers' Party over our Junit Town Council, Mrs. Chiam has continued to serve out her role in Parliament by asking questions and calling the government to account. Just before Parliament adjourned for this GE, Mrs. Chiam delivered a speech in Parliament calling the nation's attention to the Auditor General's report, which found lapses across various government bodies.
People's Association!
That's right, People's Association. Right. Mrs. Chiam reminded the government that our taxpayers' money has to be wisely and responsibly spent.
Correct!
Thank goodness for Mrs. Chiam's presence in Parliament. I am so proud of what she has done in Parliament these last 4 years.
Go, Lina!
The second reason to vote for Mrs. Lina Chiam is because she carries the torch of decorum and respectful political combat. In this election season, we have seen a range of personal attacks being thrown around, name-calling, mudslinging.
All from the PAP, gutter politics!
Despite being a fighter in Parliament, Mrs. Chiam has never succumbed to the temptation of crossing the line to indulge in personal attacks. Yes, there's one party and one name that has stayed above the fray, and That is SPP and Mrs. Lina Chiam. This is the legacy of Mr. Chiam, and Mrs. Chiam is cut from the same cloth. And this is why I look up to her as my leader and mentor. The third reason is good management. In this election, so much has been said about the opposition's ability to run town councils. As far as SPP and Mr. Chiam is concerned, that is a myth. We have run the town council. Mr. Chiam has run the town council successfully without a hitch. Even the PAP will acknowledge that Mr. Chiam and his accounts were all in surplus. On top of this, over the last few years, Mrs. Chiam has been able to attract credentialed party members from various professional backgrounds to support her to run the Potong Pasir Town Council. I am honoured to be standing next to Mrs. Chiam. She is a friend, a mentor, and an inspiration. Above all, I consider her to be my sister, my 大姐 in this political journey we share. As she told the Mountbatten rally on Sunday, we are both Hakka women, and Hakka women are known to be quite fierce. In Mrs. Chiam, I see a fighter with a passion for the people of Potong Pasir. She could have declined the NCMP seat and retired from politics, but she stayed on and did not disappoint you. On nomination day, Mr. Chiam braved the scorching heat to see his wife speak at the nomination center. When she spoke, he stood up with great difficulty, but with even greater pride. After that, Mr. Chiam confided in me how proud he was of Mrs. Chiam and how much he hoped that she would carry on his legacy in Potong Pasir. Residents of Potong Pasir, rest assured, if you elect Mrs. Chiam, you will get an A team from the SPP to keep the Potong Pasir spirit alive. Let's keep the flag of Chiam Sitong flying. Let the Potong Pasir spirit continue to shine proud and bright for all to see. Vote SPP, vote Mrs. Lina Chiam. Thank you.
Fourth speaker, Mr. Lau Kim Hui, Liu Jinghui 先生 is the candidate for Vision Ohio 第3代表选区候选人。来，我们请。
First, a few words in English. My name is Lau Kim Hui, and tonight I'm very privileged to be here to speak on behalf of SPP in the candidature of Mrs. Chiam Sitong. I've been asked to speak in Teochew and Hokkien and Hawaii and Champo Champo. So, please give your support because I will tell you why, okay? I'm Teochew, pure Teochew, my mother, father, Teochew. Father from Swatao. But when I was 25 years old, I met the lady who was to become my wife and she was Hokkien. So now I'm 55. For 30 years, I live with my mother-in-law and father-in-law. Therefore, pun dio jin zui Teochew Hokkien菜. 打Teochew嘅打了你袂白，講Hokkien呢講了袂準，所以參破，請多多演練。Okay. So I'll start right now. Please give your support. But before that, can you give me a hand, please, to give some support? Thank you. 謝謝你們。First, another thing, I have to apologize to the cameraman because they are usually quite comfortable sitting down. The camera is in, 免做工，把我行来，行去，所以咱就做工 ，so apologies。OK， 我的名是罗金辉，刘金辉，人叫我辉。我今年55岁，3个囝，大囝、2个查囝，拢总读册，第3个做兵。 拢总过甲爸爸压累，过无趁累，所以淡薄艰苦。OK， 我甲你讲，今日咧我来稍甲你人归说2项物件，这一项就是安怎 PAP 甲你人创到啥啦 ？reverse。PAP 是安怎逼令人、甲因人。 投一票，我要解释给你们听，他们是到底是按怎做法。第二呢，我甲你人解释，莫惊伊人欺负你人免惊。你在乎一站爱去投票，你就爱想4项物件。你听好好，我甲你解释。OK，Number one，PAP 安怎逼你人甲伊投一票？ 伊人做牌，安怎讲呢？普通话说就好。做牌就无你人记得，恁摆 Mr. 江做 MP 了，伊人做什么 ？POSB 甲你压掉，唔是 POSB，sorry，Post Office 甲你压掉 ，NDC 甲你压掉，敢若伊人讲的物件，公平吗？不公平！伊人做牌来再来收起来，一般来来收到等。 敢无？会敢那做了袂水对无？哦 ，GRC，OK， 我举一个例子给你们听。East Coast 林水生 Minister， 2-3摆拢总是5个人 GRC， 一摆咧几个人？4个对无？安怎咧？ 伊人举 East Coast 的 GRC， 敢若伊人会豆腐安尼款，这道做，迄道做，做牌，安怎做牌咧？因为伊人会知，本身迄道几十个做的政府处，和 PAP 无啥物爽。2011 2011年的 GE， 他们的选票比较低 ，OK，2015 今年来赶出来。 输一个了紧，赢4个较稳当。做牌对无？做牌嘛来水，好咯。我咱汉人讲不错。地步，啊地步，可来，地步 ，Thank you very much， 谢谢你，对地步，地步当不错了，哎。OK， 对地步。 咱袂去惊，伊人讲新加坡是 PAP 是新加坡，哎 ，Hello， 笑死人啦，笑死人啦，对咯，1997年、98年，印尼哇真正乱，人台人拢讲哇真正啦，大家讲哇袂使，啊，比我想咧，安怎迄道长人无啥物会走咧？我小白的头家，伊人讲袂去走，免走诶，这会过。 我想影，印尼啊，这1000年来都是得遇到过就印尼。我们新加坡过了1000年，还有是这个地图，这个小岛袂倒诶，是什么人尔？伊人讲 PAP 是新加坡是 PAP， 伊是大汉诶，很骄傲。Hello，very proud, stuck up, right? How can you equate a party to a country? Don't you think that they are proud? Don't you think they are trying to play on your fear? 好练对。我跟你讲，虽然我是1960年出生的，但比1959年甲1963年垃圾食来，新加坡有倒无？无倒。时势造英雄，听有无？时势造英雄，时代不一样，还有别的英雄上来的。 对吗？对。OK， 所以咱大喊，爱听。第三，伊人讲你就爱多谢感谢他们，我人这拢是我人去的，这政府厝啊，什么啊 ，Apple 啦，什么拢做人去的。No。你爱行雷，行 Texas 对无？有啊。雷是怎出来？伊哪个雷啊？我哪雷啊？啊是伊老爸的雷啊？伊阿公的雷啊？阿公小郎中。哦，我们出力的，对。伊哪有人猜？顶摆有人猜，这阵有人猜无？当然我都规说，看人什么款的人猜。所以这三个人大喊、大吵。该叫伊人hello， 甲我人讲感谢，我人行了百几万的工钱，你搁着，我人搁着甲你人讲感谢。你头家讲，你着甲你个头家讲感谢无？有无？免的，我人是头家。OK， so let me explain right now。你着爱考虑4项物件。还去投票，伊讲你考虑4项物件，现实的、现实的。第一 ，jobs， 你会工，你之前会工，你真欢喜有工 ，very good。你无工了咧 ，well not so good， 无啥物好办 ，never mind。OK，we must be patient。工是很重要，因为我人即阵拢总毋是头家嘛，所以就要靠工有薪水，才有代表消费。对吗？你去想，你之前有工 ，OK？ 你想讲啊，我惊输淡薄，慢慢做，点。政府无咱工了，我支持伊，我激人无，我保人，我卖那款想。因为你会知，也是你是后生囝，你看来看去，愈来愈侪外地的人，抢掉你的朋友的工。顶6个月是来朋友无工做。过3个月是你无，也是无工做，有可能无？有可能的代志无？有可能的代志，因为愈来愈侪外地的人，敢若我朋友安尼款，爱讨工真艰苦，比如是骗我顶摆较后生一阵，省真侪钱，所以有材料过日无问题。所以你就要考虑，你的工会稳啊袂稳？按怎人看做外劳的人来收，甲我人抢工呢？世界无这款的代志诶！你来收坐飞机2个礼拜来走做多哩，为你 apply for job， 找一个工安尼好诶啊！喂，新加坡是新加坡人的，不是每个人的。谁说新加坡是每个人的？是不是每个人的？
不是没有。
是谁的？新加坡人的。
对。
对，第二个爱考的是你的厝内。最近我人个总理逐摆 National Day Rally 讲什么？啊，我今年个考虑加1万，加2万，爱买3房式，考虑加1万啊，4房式，考虑加2万啊。哦 ，sorry， 迄个我袂你讲，迄个较粗哦。我前下昼听了我想，淡薄无啥物对见，安怎咧？我甲你解释。1985年以前，我的老爸，伊是为米浆粿赚的钱无偌济啦，因为你每顿的4角8角，顶摆就饱了，食了就饱，无趁讲趁真侪钱的。OK， 伊有材料买3房式，二手的必须3房式，17,000，伊7年8年就还到了，洗面无？洗面嘞。米浆粿尔买3房式，7年就卖了，7年就还了。即阵咧也是我的囝读册了出来，赶紧来娶某，有才调现啊，钱来放定钱，我买3房式无？有才调无？无才调咧。所以你讲你做政府做了好，即阵我的囝无才调买3房式，顶摆。做了麻将尔，我的老爸有材料买3房式， ，hello， 淡薄沙啦无？对无？我哋限20年也就在條嚟講，按限20年，頂擺限7年就限了，升人了油卡。這擺就限20年、20多年，這叫做做了好。我看淡薄沙啦，也算了淡薄沙啦。第三項物件，你考慮的是你的消費，每天的消費。我給你一個 ，sorry 啊。例子的 example， 全世界大個世界裏面，大個國家有落地，泊車有攏總落地。新加坡一個爾，落起多長，有理由無？有理由無？哦，伊人生活真有理由，這應該甲你人去叫甲。鼓勵你們買用你那的車，伊人會安尼管想法，安怎咧 ？Mr. Taman 啊，喺 city 上拍油啊，唔是行雷嘅。頭家拍油是頭家行雷嘅是無？無，阿講笑 ，expense account，manager 有出雷無？有無？無，不然嘅人總無要緊嘅，是我人坐巴士。坐 train， 坐 motorbike， 駛老仆卡，敢若我駛9年的車，這是我人就愛拍油，袂通。所以你就愛想出來的物件，安怎講做政府做了袂了解我人人民的艱苦。你這擺食蝦麵、潮州麵、巴錯麵、roti prata。這錢偌濟？5針啊！我們蛋。這擺啊，無3塊半食無麵了，對嗎 ？OK， last one。最後你要考慮的是，你退休了，有鐳無？有夠鐳用無？有夠食無？有夠生活無？無夠。OK， 無夠是個小問題，內面咱就愛問安怎無夠 ？BAP 50年來是誰能夠照顧我人的 CPF 的錢？你講，你相信我，我人才，你的 CPF 幫你收，到時來你退休你就有錢。伊人講了會準無？袂準。伊人講伊人是人才，咱講我人馬來西亞毋是人才。伊人嘅 EPF 啊，等於咱廿偌濟%，你會知無？你會知無 ？6.4%， 6.4%。我人廿偌濟，哇，這淡薄 2.5， 迄淡薄 3%， 迄4%，升到來差不多 3.5%， 相當濟。伊人迄個毋是人才，代表咱有知了，互伊人嘅人民 6.4% interest。淡薄差啦了 ，OK？ 你想看歹人才，我甲你解釋安怎人嘅人才無死有聊了。Mr. Lee Kuan Yew 16天，伊過身了，代表伊也未過身以前，有3個公司是叫伊請伊做 advisor。美國嘅 JP Morgan Bank， 德國嘅 Daimler Chrysler Big Company。And number 3, what got a total? Mr. Lee was the advisor for I think 10 years. Very, very smart man who knows what the world is happening and what is happening in the world, and what is happening in China. So, 伊人欠用到伊這款的人才，代表已經馬低了嗎？無做了嗎？伊的位是空了。安怎人無請我人的，你在想哦？我講hello， 你來 take over Mr. Lee 嘅位，有無？啊，無咯，安怎無咧？人才無夠水準，電話，安那講電話本淡毛。Yeah, okay. So very quickly, I have 我時間無偌濟了，所以你去 11号那个马一站嘞，那就还想好好，你买惊人 PAP， 我们老百姓是做主，不是他们。你假假，甲我人的朋友伫澳洲的朋友投反对党，互伊人知会碎碎声讲 ，Hello， 沙拉了，你人沙拉了 ，OK， so please vote for Mr. Chiang. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
The next speaker will be more familiar. Second-time candidate for Vision Toa. Let's welcome Benjamin Hui, 方月光先生。大家好。对不起，我的福建话没有像刘先生这么厉害哈。I'm actually going to be speaking in Chinese tonight. No more Cantonese. Somebody, I've been getting a lot of people coming to me, speaking to me Cantonese ever since last night. I'm here to talk about the role of an MP. I'm also here to talk about what it means to have SPP in Parliament. And I'm also here to talk about what's happening in the Potong Pasir area now today. And if you allow me, I'm going to switch over to Chinese and to address a lot of the residents here. 我估呀，你的星语是中文，你的星语是华语，我希望以后今晚跟你说话。谢谢。对不起我是比较严肃所以大家可能不会笑得太多，但是尽量鼓掌，尽量鼓掌。首先我要提醒大家，我们上一次大选的时候那是SPP 你是其他枪。赢的是多少票？大家记得吗？40%几？40多。那时候我们差的是多少？差的是110多票，114票，比这里的人更少。所以首先我们要记得，我们不是在一个区我们的Mrs. Lina Chiam，我们 SPP 是只有30%多，不是。这个区上一次我们在这里竞争的时候。我们赢的是差不多，差一点点，50%，就差那一点点。现在轮到你问问自己，这一次竞选差那一点点，你要能够差多少？有些人说我们反对党有些报纸有一些领导说你们反对党每5年才出现一次每5年没有看到你，然后呢5年一次你出现讲话几天，叫人家投你一票。Hello。Mr. Lina Chiam 陪着 Mr. Chiam 在这里多少年，你知道吗 ？Mr. Chiam 做你的 MP 的时候 ，Mr. Lina Chiam 在他旁边多少年，你知道吗？27年，从年轻到老，今天他还在这里。其中在这里多少年？有没有像Mr. Lina Chiam 这么多年，从年轻到老一直卖力在这里呢？哪里有？所以首先我要说明是他不是新人，不是从来没有见过的人。另外我们要看的是过去4年他的表现如何。刚才林内有说在国会开了100多次会议，就是林洋枪说话说了83次，对不对？但是他没有跟你说司徒先生他说了几次。国会开会开了100多次，只是站起来发表意见说话，为你们说话83次。其中站起来说话39次，比他少一半。所以大家清楚人家给你东西，送你东西哇，这么漂亮的新地方，这么漂亮的商场这里又翻新那里又翻新，哇，漂亮很好享受。但是到最后重点来的时候6.9个 million 白皮书的时候。东西起价的时候，他在国会有没有为你说话？这个是关键。没有为你说话，你是厨房神，送你东西给你吃了哇，口很甜你什么都行了，你就什么都做好了你不要霸权，手上的一票是你唯一一个能够让政府看到、知道政府官员、政府议员应该为你说话，不是为政府，更不是为 PAP 说话，听到没有？另外我想强调的是Mr. Chiam 过去4年在国会，他是 NCMP， 知道 NCMP 等于什么意思？NC 等于什么 non-constituency， MP 就是议员，所以西东在国会他是代表你，因为你是投他一票送他进国会的。non-constituency 就是说，是像在国会里面，他不是为你们说话。严格来说，他不是为你说话。non-constituency 吗？他在国会是一个这个制度底下让一些票数比较高的输者能够进来。他在国会里面说话，严格来说不是为你说话 ，non-constituency。但是只是像每一次83次站起来说话，还是仍然为你说话。所以我问你，上一次赢的是 Mr. 西周，自从赢了进去，他应该是你的 nominated MP， 他是你的 elected MP， 进国会说话39次，反而输者 NCMP 不是你们送进国会的Mr. 香为你说话83次，有没有问题？所以我这一次希望大家能够真正为肯在国会里面为你说话的人投他一票，让说话最多为你说话的人能够是你投票把他送进国会的人，这个就是你们的。我想再说一说婆罗巴仙这个区婆罗巴仙这个区其实我也知道啦，有一些在这里住了很久的人说，哇，我们终于有一个漂亮的市场。哇，我们终于有翻新多好，你知道吗？哎呀，我们很支持你的项目，对，27年支持他，但是现在哎呀，有点翻新可以吗？刚才我的同事谢先生也跟你说了大巴窑，再说一下大巴窑，我们是在大巴窑，必向大巴窑选区在竞争我们去一栋楼，大巴窑一栋，每一个门我们都敲门打开。你知道我们去派单张，一栋楼在大巴窑，60%的人开门，60%的人全部是外国人。40%是当地人，为什么？外国人、外地人来了。现在婆东巴仙你投了其中一票，过去4年，你知不知道过去4年婆东巴仙开始人越来越多，知不知道？人越来越多，地方越来越小，为什么呢？我来解释一下，为什么地方越来越小？以前公共场所有car park有我们自己的一些的卖书的摊子全部的地方现在全部怎么样？交给大发展商发展一个大市场，哇，市场在我有一个市场不错嘞比上有掌声我们有一个新市场不错嘞，市场那个地本来是公共场所，现在地然后给了发展商发展起来之后呢，你要在那里能够开小店，租金多少？大企业来喽，你又说哇，优质很好大商场来了，全部的牌子是什么大牌子？全新加坡最顶呱呱的牌子都来了现在现场直播，所以我不可以说牌子牌子名字。所以我问你，每一个大牌子过来这里开始卖咖啡卖碟卖面包卖鸡蛋，你知道我们婆东巴仙有多少个当地人开小店？他们的生意会在哪里？大家为这大企业来了而高兴，我要你好好看。每一个大企业来的时候，小企业没有了。必胜大巴窑的小企业家全部在哪里？没有工作，不然的话就每一天赚的钱不够。为什么？大家去大企业大牌子婆东巴仙你要翻新，你要小心，因为有一个很重要的重点，大家要清楚。这个是城市跟家的分别。城市你过去CBD 工作买东西没问题，Orchard在那里没问题。家是我们自己的，家不是卖给外人的。对。家是我们自己的，家是我们自己开小店开生意，我们自己赚活的。家不是给外人大企业过来赚我们的钱的。所以大家讲好翻新高兴之后5年10年之后，婆东巴仙变成是什么？你要清楚，你的牺牲是你将来孩子的牺牲了。另外，我还想再点出另外一点我说一说婚姻好吗？这里有很多家庭，也有很多刚刚结婚的人。过去4年， 大家以为哇，我们投多一票，其实进了国会，所以现在呢，波特巴街是BAP 的，你不要忘记，波特巴街这里有一半的选民投了是这样的票，所以国会里面有 BAP， 有 Workers Party， 还有多一个叫 SPP。过去4年2个大党说话。你说你的，我说我的，你指我，我指你，于是他枪，我们叫他什么第三者站起来说话。跟你讲婚姻不可以有第三者，婚姻等于让后料，婚姻不可以有第三者，但是国会一定要有第三者。所以我希望大家能够好好的想。我知道这里有很多支持我和法蒂的朋友们也可能有一些支持 BAP 的人。我不管你支持谁，今天我们投的票是不是进入国会的第三者继续在国会能够做第三者的 SPP 就是他，就是Mr. Lina。最后我想强调一下，上一次投Mr. 西路先生的票数有很多当地人。波特巴西的当地人，但是也有很多搬来波特巴西的新移民新国民。4年之后，大家应该也知道，波特巴西来了很多新人，很多外地人。那些人他们投的票是投谁呢？我不敢说投票是秘密的。但是这个就是危机，不要说危机了，危机是有危险又有机会这个是危险。危险为什么？外地人搬来这里4年，不知道Mr. Cham在这里27年的功劳，一投就投司徒一票。我们在这里住了这么多久，你知道Mr. Cham为你而服务，你知道他们在这里投的心思，投的心血，你不投他们一票，外地人投司徒一票，你希望你不要失去这个机会。我鼓励大家在这里，不要只在这里的每一位你回去跟你家人、跟你邻居每一个人说，我们今天要投的是POTONG PASIR我们自己人的一票，投Mr. Cham回国会。谢谢各位。Thank you, Mr. Wei. In that little corner, when you arrived earlier, you saw some books being sold. It's Mr. Cham Sitong's biography. You might be curious who the author is, and you might want to hear directly from him. The next speaker is none other than the author. Let's welcome Mr. Loh Ho Yong.
Residents of POTONG PASIR, good evening to you. My name is Ho Yong. I'm a member of the Singapore People's Party. I first got to know Mr. and Mrs. Cham Sitong personally when I was writing a book about the life of Mr. Cham. The book may not have sold as many copies as the Lee Kuan Yew books, but the sales are doing quite well, even without the help of the People's Association and the NTUC. Everyone, POTONG PASIR 区选民，晚上好。好。我的名叫陆浩洋，我是新加坡人民党的党员，我也是张之洞先生的传记的作者。今晚，我很荣幸能有机会在此发表讲话，感谢大家在百忙之中抽出宝贵时间听我们发言。各位POTONG PASIR居民都是勇敢的选民，能与你们相见，我深感荣幸。I wanted to write the book about Mr. Cham because it is also the story of POTONG PASIR, a very special place in Singapore. Special residents of Potong Pasir did a very brave thing in 1984. You voted for an opposition MP. You voted for Chiam See Tong. You voted for him even before it was fashionable to vote for the opposition. You voted for Chiam See Tong because you were standing up for your future. You were standing up for your kind of town. I want to pay tribute to a group of pioneers of Singapore. True pioneers who were forgotten. Some of them were your forefathers and forebears who used to live in Kampong Potong Pasir, in Pek Sang Ting, now known as Bishan, and in Old Toa Payoh. They were hard-working farmers. Then the bulldozers came in, took away their land for redevelopment, land which they depended on for their livelihoods. As I was researching for my book, I learned about the stories of these Singaporeans which I had never known before from our history textbooks. After the bulldozers came in and razed their farms, they were given very little money in exchange for the land that they had to give up. They were resettled here in Potong Pasir HDB estate. For many, as I understand, the livelihoods were taken away from them. They struggled to make a living all over again. The stories of their hardships left a deep impression on me. To me, they are the real pioneer generation. They made great sacrifices for the sake of economic development that we now enjoy. Before Mr. Chiam, your MP was a man named Howe Yun Chong. He was also the Minister of Health. Do you remember him? Do you know what he did? It was Howe Yun Chong who first proposed to raise the CTF withdrawal age from 55 to 65. He also wanted to raise the retirement age from 55 to 65, and eventually to 67. Eventually, Howe Yun Chong decided not to run for elections again. Then the PAP sent a president scholar by the name of Ma Bao Tan. A president scholar. He obviously did not only get 5 O-levels. Do you know what happened? Chiam See Tong won Potong Pasir with 60.3% of the vote. The rest, they say, is history. Dear residents of Potong Pasir, we are now once again at the crossroads. You have been swamped by all things SG50 for the past 9 months, a celebration of our nation's achievements. But what is our future really going to be like? Even if we came from being a swamp, a fishing village, which by the way is not true, even if we came from being a swamp, a fishing village, remember this: where we came from is not where we want to go. I want us to talk about the real problems of today, the problems we face as Singaporeans. The 20-minute delay that your MRT had this morning on the Northeast Line. The issue of population size, for example, and the future of our economy. We are not xenophobic. We don't hate foreigners. There are no hate crimes in Singapore. Just try going to other countries. We have always been a multiracial place, even before independence. But economic strategies for Singapore that call for a larger population dear residents of Potong Pasir, fellow Singaporeans, the economic strategies for Singapore that call for a larger population are based on outdated economic theories. The situation of Singapore is unique. We are a city-state with no hinterland. After we hit the milestone of 6.9 million, the question is, what is the next step?
10 million!
Set a higher planning target? 10 million? Okay, then what is the absolute population limit that Singapore must not exceed? And when that happens, when we hit the absolute target, what do? Do we have to suddenly freeze the population size? But that would send the economy crashing according to the government and what they've been saying. So what is the long-term economic strategy of the government?
They have none!
Is there even a long-term strategy for Singapore for the next 50 years? They have also said that new migrants are needed to address the low birth rates in Singapore and to address the so-called silver tsunami of elderly people that the government has warned us about. But if the new migrants bring along their aged parents to Singapore, would that not also contribute towards the so-called silver tsunami? Singapore's prosperity has always been built on its status as a port, a trading hub. Once we lose that status, however large a population we have, it will be pointless.
You are absolutely right!
Singapore must therefore focus all it can do to secure the world-class standing of its ports, airport, seaport. Once trade stops flowing through Singapore, you are finished. We must find creative ways to enhance productivity in our economy. And the inculcation of creativity, fostering a spirit of entrepreneurship, that has to begin in our schools, starting from primary 1. Productivity credits handed out by the government must be well accounted for to ensure the best use of public funds. Residents of Potong Pasir, when you first voted Chiam Tong into Parliament, bus services were taken away from you. The POSB branch was taken away from you. The NTUC too. You did not enjoy HDB upgrading. Today, you have all these things once again. So do not be afraid. Do not be afraid, because it is your right to all these services, all these facilities, as a citizen of the Republic of Singapore. Citizens who pay taxes, citizens who do national service, citizens who are loyal to our country in every way of life. Don't expect anything less than your fellow citizens in the PAP constituencies. My dear residents of Potong Pasir, this could be your last chance to vote as a brave and proud resident of Potong Pasir. If the PAP wins Potong Pasir again, the next time round, at the next election, you could be voting as part of a GRC. One of those many faceless, colourless, large GRCs which change their constituency names and borders at every election. Your MP then may not pick up as fervently as Mrs. Lina Chiang did for you in the past 4 years. In fact, in one of these kinds of GRC, you may even not be sure who your MP really is. I say this not to threaten you in any way. I wish that our electoral boundaries are not decided so arbitrarily, so randomly. I would have wished that the committee making these decisions on electoral boundaries is truly independent, instead of having to report to the Prime Minister's office. I just want to urge you as fellow Singaporeans to vote wisely. Vote for your town. Vote for your future and for the future of your children. I ask that you vote for Lina Chiam. Mrs. Chiam is one of the bravest women I have ever known. Indeed, one of the bravest persons. You would not find a braver person to represent you in Parliament, and someone who is also so utterly devoted to the selfless service of this special kampong. Vote for the Singapore People's Party. Vote for Lina Chiam.各位波东巴西区选民，我想谈谈当前我国人民面临的现实问题及人口数量问题。我们并非仇视外国人，对他们我们没有什么恶意。与其他国家相比，我们对外国人十分包容。早在独立之前，我国已经是一个多元种族的社会，但是新加坡吸引外来人口的经济战略已经过时。新加坡地理位置独特，是一个没有腹地的城市国家。当我国人口突破690万时，我们不得不思考下一步该怎么走呢？是否需要规划一个更高的目标？800万、900万人口，新加坡绝对人口不可突破的上限又是多少？我们是否该对人口数量进行突然控制？如果不那样做的话，是否真的会如政府所说，引起经济的全面崩塌？政府也说过，我们需要引进新移民，以此解决新加坡低出生率及人口老化的问题。但是，如果新移民带着他们上了年纪的父母一起搬来新加坡居住，这些父母不就正好成为银发族的新成员吗？对于这些情况，政府并没有全面加以考虑。一直以来，新加坡的繁荣发展靠的是国际港口及贸易中心的地位。如果我们丧失了该地位，不管我们拥有多少人口，都将无济于事。因此，新加坡必须尽其所能，保证机场和海港走在世界最前列。如果新加坡没有了国际贸易，那我们的末日也将来临。2011年大选后不久，我们一群朋友跑去问罗文丽关于未来的计划。当时他说他没说别的，只是说新加坡人民党会继续为居民服务。他当时说话的场所正是过去她丈夫张之洞先生召开每周的议会 MPS 的场所，大牌108。此后，张蔡继承张先生的传统，继续在那个场所召开每周例会的 MPS。当现任议员司徒宇斌先生 把那里改作共享设施后，张太太克服重重困难，将例会场所改至 Senate Estate 附近的人民党总部，继续与居民见面。我曾经问他是否觉得工作困难艰难，他说他对迟早已习惯了。众民爱民，为民服务，这种理想已深深扎根在他的心里。请投新加坡人民党一票，请投罗文一票。Thank you.
And so they say that SPP has no talent, and I'm here to say that he's from the ACS, so we understand. Next up, Abdullah, candidate for Discern Kamayo. Let's welcome him.
Thank you. First and foremost, very good evening, Mr. Chiam, and of course, not forgetting residents of Potong Pasir. Very good evening to everyone. Hao. And before I proceed on, I always like to do this. Please, can you please give a round of applause to the police officers on duty here today for keeping us safe. I'm going to be doing my speech in Malay. Thank you. So I'm not going to switch. Baiklah. Saya perkenalkan diri saya dahulu. Nama saya Muhammad Abdullah bin Zamzuri. Thank you. Terima kasih. Semua orang panggil saya Abdullah ataupun Ab sebagai singkatan. Sama juga saya ingin anda semua memanggil saya Abdullah ataupun Ab sahaja, lebih mudah. Saya akan terangkan bagaimana saya bertemu dengan Puan Lina Chiam dahulu dan apakah perasaan yang saya dapat dalam pertemuan pertama saya dengan Puan Lina Chiam. Lebih kurang sebulan sebelum pilihan raya, saya dipanggil untuk bertemu dengan Puan Lina Chiam. Pada waktu itu ialah saya bertemunya di McDonald's Great World City. Dan pada saat itu apabila saya bertemu dengan Puan Lina Chiam, saya berasa yang beliau ini seorang yang sangat rendah hati. Apabila saya bertemu dengannya, dia gelarkan dirinya sebagai anti. Seorang anggota parlimen menggelarkan dirinya sebagai anti, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Saya rasa tidak pernah saya mendengar seorang anggota parlimen daripada parti PAP menggelarkan dirinya sebagai anti ataupun uncle selain daripada Puan Lina Chiam, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Dan saya rasa dengan dirinya menggelarkan sebagai anti, saya rasa Puan Lina Chiam menunjukkan bahawasanya beliau adalah seorang yang dapat mendekatkan dirinya dengan para penduduk. Kerana kalau di Singapura ini, rata-rata kalau kita naik taksi, kita panggil pakcik yang naik taksi, kita panggil taksi uncle. Uncle taxi. Kalau kita pergi pasar, kita panggil orang anti uncle. Jadi saya rasa ini adalah satu budaya Singapura. Dan saya rasa Puan Lina Chiam mengikuti budaya di Singapura ini dengan menggelarkan dirinya sebagai anti. Dan dari situlah saya tahu yang beliau ini adalah seorang yang rendah hati dan seorang yang saya ingin perjuangkan, yang kami ingin perjuangkan bersama, legasi Encik Chiam Si Tong bukan sahaja di Potong Pasir tetapi juga di Bishan Toa Payoh. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, saya rasa seseorang itu jika ingin menjadi seorang anggota parlimen perlu ada dua kriteria. yang penting. Dua kriteria ini pada saya sangat penting kerana ia menunjukkan kebolehan seseorang itu bukan sahaja untuk berfikir, malah juga untuk merasa di hatinya. Dan dua perkara yang penting ini ialah, yang pertama ialah IQ dan yang kedua ialah EQ. Tanpa kedua-dua IQ dan EQ ini, saya rasa seorang itu kalau jadi anggota parlimen memang beliau itu kekosongan sesuatu. Ramai di antara anggota parlimen dari parti PAP kami mempunyai IQ yang tinggi tetapi EQ yang rendah. Kenapa? Kerana mereka cuma boleh berfikir saja tetapi mereka tidak boleh rasa apa yang para rakyat Singapura rasakan. Betul ke tidak? Betul. Oleh itu, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, saya rasa Puan Lina Chiam ini seorang yang mempunyai keseimbangan, balance di antara IQ dan juga EQ. Betul atau tidak? Betul. Betul. Dan oleh itu, saya percaya beliau boleh melaksanakan kerjanya sebagai anggota parlimen lebih baik daripada anggota parlimen yang lain, daripada parti-parti PAP yang lain. Dan oleh itu saya rasa awak harus undi Lina Chiam ke dalam parlimen. Bukan sahaja itu, selama 27 tahun yang beliau telah bekerja di samping Encik Chiam Si Tong, beliau telah menunjukkan semangat beliau. Dan beliau juga telah menunjukkan yang beliau ini penuh dengan dedikasi untuk rakyat Potong Pasir. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang saya hormati, saya takut. Saya takut kerana saya takut di dalam parlimen nanti ramai di dalam parlimen dianggotai oleh bekas orang yang bekerja di tentera. Dan orang yang bekerja di tentera ini, mereka cuma pandai mengatakan satu benda sahaja. Yes sir, yes sir.
Yes man.
Yes ma'am, yes sir. Saya takut kerana mereka tidak mempunyai suara sendiri untuk bersuara untuk rakyat. Oleh itu saya rasa takut. Saya juga rasa takut. Saya takut jika semuanya di dalam parlimen itu terdiri daripada anggota PAP, kerana jika semuanya di dalam parlimen terdiri daripada anggota PAP, mereka akan membuat polisi dengan sesuka hati tanpa memikirkan apa yang rakyat inginkan. Betul atau tidak?
Betul.
Oleh itu saya takut. Dan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, yang paling penting sekali, seperti yang telah dikatakan oleh Koyong dan juga Jeanette, saya takut jikalau PAP terus berkuasa, bermaharaja lela di dalam parlimen, kami tidak akan mempunyai suara anggota parlimen dari parti yang berbeza. Dan mungkin pada pilihan raya undi yang akan datang, Potong Pasir tidak akan ada lagi sebagai SMC, tetapi sebagai sebahagian daripada GRC. Oleh itu saya berasa takut. Awak semua rasa takut atau tidak? Takut kerana anggota parlimen awak, jika semuanya PAP, mereka tidak akan mengindahkan perasaan awak sebagai rakyat. Tetapi tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, ada satu perkara yang saya rasa awak tak perlu takut. Jangan takut untuk mengundi Lina Chiam ke dalam parlimen. Jangan takut jika kerja-kerja pembangunan yang telah dijanjikan tidak akan berjalan, kerana kerja-kerja pembangunan dan naik taraf akan terus dijalankan. Jadi jangan takut. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, apabila hari Jumaat ini datang, jangan takut untuk undi Lina Chiam, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Jangan takut untuk undi SPP ke dalam parlimen. kepada PAP siapa yang seharusnya berdiri di Potong Pasir, iaitu Lina Chiam. Terima kasih.
Yes, you're right. It's now Mrs. Lina Chiam to address us. So I made a mistake. It's Miss Chiam.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Chiam Kui Lee, and I'm the daughter of Lina Chiam. Tonight I will be addressing all of you in Mandarin. 各位波东巴西区的居民，大家好。我是张慧丽，我妈妈就是你们的候选人罗文丽。我父亲当然就是大家熟悉的张时中先生。今晚很感谢大家的莅临。我8岁的时候，我父亲当上波东巴西的议员，而我从小就跟着他们和波东巴西这里的居民接触。记得那时候的波东巴西一直都存有反霸精神 （Kampung Spirit）。相信在这里居住超过30年的居民一定有印象，你们有印象吗？有。记得以前还举办足球比赛，还有中秋晚会等，你们记得吗？我记得。我的父母亲也经常跟这里的居民分享各种生活经历和喜怒哀乐，感觉就像一个大家庭。他们2位波东巴西的居民做的众多贡献，相信旧居民一定记得，你们记得吗？记得。谢谢大家。上一届的大选，我母亲败选了，很遗憾。她仅败在114张选票。
新的议会来！
当年或许对他的认识不多，但自2011年到现在，我相信波东巴西的居民应该认识他了。作为新加坡人民党非选区议员，我母亲在国会发言次数高达83次，就是83次，也是所有国会议员发言次数最高的前2名。115 times 115次的议会，它的出席率高达113次。2次缺席是因为他的姐姐，也是我的姨妈过世了，他必须参加丧礼，以致无法出席国会。我们知道大家最关心的是波东巴西电梯的翻新计划，也很想知道 我母亲若当选后，会不会继续这个翻新计划？我想提醒大家，过去27年，在没有政府资助的情况下，我们已经试行电梯的翻新。事实上，在 PAP 在2011年5月接手波东巴西之前，我父亲詹时中先生和他的整个市政理事会已经完成电梯翻新计划的初步构图。各位波东巴西居民，我想问你们想想看，电梯是在8月完工，5月接手，8月完工。如果詹先生和他的集团和他的团队没有事先进行电梯翻新计划，怎么可能在3个月内就完成？我问你们，你们觉得可能吗？
不可能，
不可能的。对，作为一个反对党选区，波东巴西在没有政府的 CIPC 基金协助，我们还是能努力的利用有限资源，改善跟维持波东巴西地区的设施。在2010年底，我们免费，我想重申一次，我们免费完成了选取的29个电梯翻新，免费，选民完全不用出任何费用。再一次重申，选民完全不用出任何费用，而不像 PAP 选区的居民还要自己掏钱出来补助才可以翻新。新加坡人民党从2011年开始，我们成立了波东巴西补助基金，而且至今还累积了6万块钱在里头。我们计划用这笔基金进一步协助波东巴西的民众，尤其是成绩突出但贫困的学生给予补助。我父亲詹时中先生一向重视教育，他之前是四达女中的科学教师，而四达女中也正是在波东巴西的一区，所以我们计划推出詹时中奖学金。鼓励欧水准、优良的贫困学生，以协助他们更积极面对学业。这地方怎么说，也是我自小成长的地方，我对这里有感情。我希望这个地方能恢复过往的凝聚力。我希望居民不要被翻新工程所诱惑。你们会被诱惑 各位波东巴西居民，翻新本来就是政府应该做的。对。让我再重复一次，翻新本来就是政府应该做的，你们说对不对？而不是幼儿。现在进行中的工程仍然会继续，大家不用担心，在法律上是必须持续进行。若我母亲当选，她继承了我父亲的宏愿，服务这里的居民，而且是真心诚意的为大家服务。就像我的爸爸，我的父亲27年就是为了你们真心服务。司徒先生所留下他还没完成的，以及2011年前答应做的电梯翻新工作，他都会进行下去。亲爱的波东巴西居民，我恳请居民投我母亲罗文丽一票。他会真心诚意的在国会里为大家发声和说话。我的父亲的为人，我不需要再多说什么，相信全新加坡人都很了解，他一直是一个诚实、清廉的反对党议员，大家有目共睹。而我母亲罗文丽也会一样。各位波东巴西居民，我爱这个地方，让波东巴西再次成为我的家。My kind of house. Let us return Potong Pasir to where it belongs, to become my kind of town again. 我谢谢大家，晚安。
Like father, like daughter, she can speak up. Like I said earlier, during 7, the MC has the ultimate authority. So you get to choose. Do you want Mrs. Cham to speak or Mr. Cham to speak first? You can shout. Mr. or Mrs. Cham? Okay. In that case, I'll be a bit playful. I will shout Mrs. Cham. Mrs. Cham, would you address your crowd and your vote, please?
My dear residents of Potong Pasir, my fellow Singaporeans, first of all, I must apologize for coming late. I also must apologize to my colleagues who are waiting for me to come up to the stage to speak at the rally.
It's okay, as long as you are happy, say you can go. We love you, we love you.
Thank you. I love you all too. That's why I come back to Potong Pasir and to serve you and all Singaporeans. All Singaporeans. Well, I would like to greet in dialects or in other languages, like Selamat Malam, Wansang Hao, Good evening. Well, I will say, oh, Tamil, sorry. Somebody can teach me? Welcome. My fellow Singaporeans, thank you for being here with Mr. Chiam and me tonight, as well as all my team on stage. It has almost been 40 years since we entered politics. We were young then, or at least I was much younger than Mr. Chiam. I was 26 years old. I've given more than half of my life in politics. But I don't mind because I love politics. I love to serve the people. Now you can guess how old I am, how many years have gone by. We have spent close to half of our lives here in Potong Pasir. I think our footsteps have been imprinted on the ground. We have trod up the stairs of all the Potong Pasir flags and all the estates don't know how many times. We have seen many of the children grown up. We organize street soccer competitions, running competitions, table tennis competitions, and badminton competitions for the residents. We have many festive dinners and lunches together with the elderly in this small town. Yes, I hope so. Send me to Parliament and I'll be able to do many more lunches. And I'll be able to serve you.
Bring back the Chalo spirit!
Some of the younger kids who were born in the 1980s have already grown up into fine young men and women, and I've met them. Some had carried lanterns with us during the Lantern Festival. In fact, we carried a few of them when we were babies. And now they are all fathers and mothers. And the best of all is, today, some of them are all my ascendants and nomination day last week. So it goes generation after generation. Looking back, life is like a roller coaster ride. I was with Mr. Chiam every step of the way as he stood by his Volkswagen and spoke to the Singaporeans with his loud hair starting in 1976. My daughter was only 7 months old. And now you can see that she has grown up and our pride and joy. Our message then was simple. Break the one-party rule. That's all we wanted. And that's how Mr. Chiam won in 1984 as one of the other opposition members of Member of Parliament and broke the one-party rule.
Justice go! Justice go! Justice go! Justice go! Justice go! Justice go! Justice go!
Do you know something? When my husband was first elected as Member of Parliament, and when he went to Parliament to be sworn in, he was such a nice gentleman. He shook hands with the then Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew. My husband was an ever-gracious man. He extended his hand and said, "Congratulations, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, for having won the for having won the election for your party. And you know what Mr. Lee Kuan Yew said? He looked at my husband's surname. I'll see you in the boxing ring. No, sorry. I see you in Parliament. He was looking at my husband as though he was saying, I will see you in the boxing ring. But my husband was never deterred. But through all these years, I think my husband has won the respect of Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. I think he has humbled and mellowed Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. Well, we lost and won elections, but we never gave up. We were pursuing a dream for Singapore and Singaporeans. We could not tolerate a Singapore without a strong opposition presence. We may appreciate what the PAP has done for Singaporeans, but there's no guarantee for what they will do for the future. Understand, Singapore? Yes. During those town council rankings the government did, I remember how a town council was labelled as irresponsible for the areas that accumulated from the SC and C charges. But, you know, we collectively tried our best to ensure areas were kept as low as possible. Because there are residents who were in need of financial assistance. We were working to arrange installment plans. It simply was not our style to simply write off their debt, like the PAP does, just write them off. For this, we got a red band in the report card from SPP. Hougang Town Council and Potong Pasir Town Council took turns to be ranked the lowest in the Town Council management report.
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind, you're right. We did what we can. As an opposition ward, Potong Pasir did not receive CIPC funds, Community Improvement Projects Committee funds. It wasn't easy, but we managed to use the money prudently for conservancy, estate maintenance, reroofing, repainting, and infrastructure replacement works, such as putting in place plans for lift upgrading projects. We managed to build 29 lifts in the estate for free, without co-payments from the residents at Tohino Lower 8. When Chiam See Tong won in 1984, and right after the years when Chiam See Tong was an MP, you know what happened? POSP and NTUC supermarkets were closed. Extra feeder bus service was denied. Penalized and inconvenienced residents for voting for Chiam See Tong. What do you think of the actions?
Unfair! No! Chiam See Tong! Shouldn't go!
Now, these agencies have reopened these three vital links for the livelihood of Potong Pasir residents immediately after the 2011 elections, when I lost by 114 votes. So you think it's fair? No! So in a way, they are saying that they are rewarding the people. They have won the election. Today I'm here to live up to my promise to come back to contest in Potong Pasir again. I told the residents after 2011 GE that I shall return, and I have returned. Stronger than before, empowered by my stint as an SPP. My priorities are incremental improvements. During Mr. Chiam's tenure as MP for Potong Pasir, we have worked with the NEA for the upgrading of our hawker center and markets. This is the context of our town council experience. that other parties do not have. If elected, we will have a team of business-savvy professionals with policy making, financial and legal expertise to help run the town council and the governance of parliament with me. So not to worry. I may be old and elderly or whatever, but I have got a good team behind me, and I'm a good organizer. And I also can be a mama to all of them. I hope you can consider that the SPP has the most experience representing you in Parliament. Experience is not something that can be replicated overnight. I am humbly urging you to consider my party's wish to work with you on a daily basis to create the best run town in Singapore, my kind of town. I want to be your voice. Above and beyond our duties in Potong Pasir, you can also be assured my policy team and I will continue to table prudent parliamentary questions which affect your life and the future lives of your children. We also will speak on bills and adjournment motions from time to time when warranted. As the SPP's non-constituency member of Parliament, I have spoken up 83 times in Parliament. And actually, I'm supposed to be one of the oldest in Parliament, other than Wong Kan Sing and Goh Chok Tong. The second highest of all MPs as your alternative voice on national issues. We, the opposition, take our responsibilities in Parliament very seriously. I attended 113 out of 115 sittings in Parliament since the last election. I think it was 4 years ago. Yes, I was absent twice. Only twice. It's not just because I don't want to go. Because my beloved sister had passed away in Malaysia sometime last year, and I was at a wake. That's how I lost 2 days in our absence in Parliament. I have raised 3 adjournment motions, notably the Aegis report on the accounting lapses of the PA and statutory board on its lack of accountability and its poor financial practice that compromise the welfare of the public and the ones who bear the brunt are the citizens of Singapore. I have asked many questions safeguarding your interests at Potong Pasir and in Singapore. As the chairman of SPP, my team and I have clear focuses in our parliamentary work. We want to create good jobs that are high-paying for Singaporeans. We want a low-paying and tax environment that provides Singaporeans a chance to become wealthier so that you can buy your first-time housing board flat. As a former nurse, I take personal interest in ensuring Singaporeans, including the aging population, enjoy a sustainable healthcare environment in Singapore. This means we should have sufficient hospital capacity and enjoy affordable healthcare services. I have also asked for nurses' salary to be raised, and my request was granted during the budget sitting of Parliament this year. I salute nurses. They are the front runners and the caregivers. They need a raise because they also have family and working different shifts. I'm also concerned about sustainable growth. The impact of growth in our infrastructure has been visible. Our public transport services have deteriorated. How many breakdowns? Anyone know from last year until now?
Uncountable breakdowns.
I lost count already. Yeah, today the FEL line was down for 20 minutes. Am I correct or not? Longer than that. Commuters were frustrated as usual. Yeah. We need to continue to check on issues in Parliament. I'm happy for Potong Pasir residents that they have been able to enjoy upgraded facilities in recent years. After all, it is their right to enjoy these facilities like every other citizen of Singapore who pay their taxes and who are loyal to their country. I do, however, take issue with the choice of how some of the funding were used in improving this neighborhood. I'm referring to the so-called neighborhood renewal program, which is worth some $5 million. When Mr. Chiang was MP, he did not even receive 1 cent. If I had been given $5 million, they would say, if Yao Kang Council has been given $5 million those days, we could have done wonders. We would have improved a lot, much more than now. According to the needs of the residents, not what they want to give, what the residents want. Residents have told me that unnecessary landscaping work are to be done. The revamping of green spaces, benches, and other infrastructure in the neighborhood that are otherwise in good shape for us. That does not seem to be a wise use of all the money. Public money. In some cases, they seem to be taking away all the amenities that were done up during the Chiang Si-tong years. If you look carefully, some of the things have been taken away, the amenities. Such wasted money should be spent for more pressing needs. We, the SPP, still have an ongoing fund for the Potong Pasir Welfare Fund, which was set up when Mr. Chiang was MP for Potong Pasir. And it is worth 60,000. Of course, it's miserly compared to the PAP's coffers. It will be peanuts for them, or maybe little peanuts. We have fun. Little money can make a lot. It depends how you spend it. Yeah. Spend wisely. We have plans to harness the fund to benefit the Potong Pasir community further. Bursaries for needy students who does well in school, a medical fund to help the elderly defray the cost, and monetary help for the needy Education had always been a key issue for our Singapore policy. Knowledge is wealth. Before Mr. Chiang took up law studies, he was a teacher at Cedar Girls Secondary School, which is in this constituency. So education to him is one of his pet subjects. We need to allocate more spaces in void decks for the elderly. The use of void decks have lost its original purpose. Do you know when you go around the void decks, you see that most of the spaces have been taken out by tuition centers, welfare homes, and whatnot. When the HDB first built the void decks, it was meant as a replacement of the free and open spaces we had during the kampong days, for children to play, for the elderly to interact, to empower the residents to get feedback, and to strengthen the community bond amongst the residents. But HDB has deviated from that original post. Our void decks are no longer void. Today your void decks have been taken away to be walled up and used for tuition centers, community and family services, so on and so forth, which is quite okay for, if they allocate some of these spaces for these services. And they also have become so commercialized, these spaces for all these centers. But what has happened to those open spaces that the old people interact with? Some people ask me, where can their caskets be placed for their funeral wake when the inevitable happens? That was one of the concerns by one of the 85-year-old ladies. You said, where will my Dong Dong Chang be held? The 85-year-old resident asked Mr. Sito Yimpin this question. You know what his reply? Don't worry, you live to be 100 years. But the 85-year-old retorted, what happens if I live to be 100 and there's still no void decks downstairs? And where is going to be my Dong Dong Chang again? You know, old people, they are very conscious about the Dong Dong Chang, the old-fashioned people. But maybe the old one, the younger ones will not mind. Worse still, what if the void dead space had been occupied by another deceased person's wake at the same time? One resident had to spend $7,000 to $8,000 for her father's wake and funeral services by using a stage to hold the wake services. Residents should not be held ransom to upgrading work. You don't have to worry about those upgrading works that are currently in progress in this estate. They are slated for completion. But now you see a lot of uncompleted works. Did you see? But I think that most people are very frightened. Oh, I better not vote for Lina Chiam. What happened? I don't get all these good facilities that is coming on my way. You know, I better wait and wait until they are finished. But until they are finished, the election is over. But not to worry. All these works are legally required to continue the plans and works they have started. LUP should have completed by December 2014, as stated by the Minister of the National Development. But they are still ongoing. You can see a lot of uncompleted lifts that has not been installed. I shall pressurize the agency and the government to expedite the installation of all the remaining lifts to every floor.
Yeah.
You know why? I met an 85-year-old, I seem to be reading a lot of 85, wheelchair-bound lady living at Lorong 8 Toa Payoh, still waiting for the lift to come to her floor. She asked again, how long do I need to wait? Can't wait anymore, I'm 85 already. Good thing. Dear residents, the preliminary lift upgrading program works were done by our town council before the PAP's takeover in May 2011. I was in the thick of it with my husband because I was vice chairman. We had meetings with the HDB, with all the financial councillors, and my financial manager, you know, to do all the preliminary works, and with all the architects. It is not easy, you know, just to, it doesn't mean that you want the lift, you will come within 3 months. No, we had done it for 2 years. So, Mr. Sito merely took over the project 3 months after the PAB took over in 2011, after you won the election. So I just want to ask you, how can the new lift be installed so fast, within 3 months? And most residents think that it was Sito who got the credit for putting up the lifts and for being rewarded for having won the election. That's why he can get the lift within 3 months. You think it's possible? No! We work very hard for the lift. I can attest to you. It must have taken a genie to do that, to plumb the lift straight in your house. It's not easy. So, CST, which is Cham Si Tong, should be credited for spearheading the project, not the PAP, not people. I hope residents of Potong Pasir will know this story. Please understand what I have told you, and please know that we were the one who spearheaded this program. And it was Mr. Chiam in his 2006 political broadcast that he wanted lifts to be installed on every floor in HDB flats, because he said that it was the fault of the HDB who did not build the flats on every floor on the first time. What I mean is, the HDB built the flats without lifts on every floor. So Mr. Chiam in his political broadcast asked that all lifts be built on every floor. And I think maybe they have heard Mr. Chiam's request during the 2006 election, and that was his election before he went to Bishan Toa Payoh in 2011. Anyway, we will continue the work left by Mr. Sito, just as he continued with the lift upgrading program left behind by us in 2011. So it will be reversed. My dear Potong Pasir residents, do you know what? If you vote me in, you will get the best 2-in-1 coffee. 2-in-1 coffee mix. It's nice, isn't it? The sweetener, the coffee, and you might get my professional staff who's helping me, the creamer. So it might be 3. So you vote for me, you know why? I can speak out for you in Parliament, take care of the town council and your livelihood. At the same time, the PAP will dish out all the goodies for you in the effort to win back Potong Pasir. So you are the best of the world. Potong Pasir residents are very lucky. They will always give you candy because they want to win back the ward and will do their best to serve the residents. I don't know whether got shark fin soup or abalone porridge or maybe now they have weekly buffet dinners and subsidized tours. I will continue to be your hardware, soundware and software touch. Because I understand people. My priority is to take care of the residents. I shall be your full-time MP, together with an added bonus of an ex-MP of 27 years to take care of you. Two MPs. The 2-in-1 coffee. Isn't it nice? So residents of Potong Pasir, don't be afraid. You vote for me, you still get the best, even better. I can speak up for you. Mr. Tito has not spoken up for you. I'm not afraid to speak out. In fact, to tell you the truth, the ministers all respect me. They asked me, Mrs. Chiam, when I first entered Parliament, what are the topics you want to speak? I said, I will speak on any topic that affects the people of Singapore. Yeah. And they are very nice, they smart. Yeah, Mr. Chiam, yeah, it's a democratic country. Yes, yeah, you can say what you want. But in fact, to be fair, when I spoke about ISA, exiles, and all the controversial issues, you know, all my bills and all this, alcohol, bills, consumption and all this, you know, they have never refute me or rebut me. They sort of respect me. But of course, they do answer my questions in their own PR way. I will ensure smooth continuity of current lift, road maintenance and other municipal works. I will lead major maintenance work for road cracks around Block 114 and 115. I will work with URA and LTA to reload road networks around Potong Pasir to ease peak hour congestion and noise reduction for Lorong 8 Toa Payoh residents whose blocks face the roads. Now they have widened the road and putting all the residents around the blocks there having difficulty in sleeping because of the noise there. So I have asked actually for them to plant trees, I think some big trees to buffer the noise. I think they are going to do it. I will ensure that the SC and C charges are affordable. Do you know for the last 2 years, it has gone up by $3. But residents complain that the state of cleanliness and service remain the same. Dirty corridors in surrounding areas despite the hike in services. But maybe they say it's inflation now. You have to pay more. My dream is to have the government put the people's ideas and dreams together. Yes, our input and our thoughts must be heard. We want to have an inclusive and caring society, not just through the occasional our Singapore conversation where they ask you and listen to you and then I don't know what happened after that. A lot of people say that. They say the right wing, no good feedback. The minister said, yeah, that is good, yeah, very good feedback. Very, very good. After that, nothing came out. They want only to hear the good news or the news that they want to hear or what they can do. We want the government to put our welfare above themselves. Today, they have put in place a minimum wage for themselves. The minister's minimum wage pegged to CEOs. You have no minimum wage. How come? They have minimum wage, you know. My husband always joke during that time when minister salary was a bit lower than now. Yeah, as long as you are alive and get up and brush your teeth, you get 2,000 already. Just stay alive. Yeah, I think now it's 3. You do the calculation, the math calculation. 120,000 or per month or more than that, I don't know. Please do me a favor and do the math calculation. Let me read you a quote by a famous Singaporean. If we succeed, as we intend to, in building a climate not only of national solidarity, but a climate in which the ordinary people begin to believe that institutions of government in the country are run by people who are loved and revered because they are working for the mass of the people, then we will have done a service, not only to ourselves, our party, and our movement, but we will also have done a service to the democratic socialist movement. Do you know who said that? Guess.
Lee Kuan Yew.
Yes, it was Lee Kuan Yew. I thoroughly agree with him here. Therefore, if the government wants our reference for them, we must be convinced that they are working for us and for our good. We have provided a political awakening for future generations. Your children are the stakeholders of this country, and we are here to make sure your voices are heard in Parliament. And I'm ready to take the oath as your MP to be on your service. Vote for the SPP with one heart as one town. Let us move into the future. Majulah Singapore. Thank you and good night. I would like to say a poem for my husband, and this poem was written to him by a supporter who respects Mr. Chiang. I don't know whether you like this poem or you agree to it, because now Mr. Chiang has, he is frail, and he's not healthy and hearty like before, but he loves the people of Singapore, and he still loves to serve through me. He wishes for me to come back to serve you all, so that he will be behind me to know what's happening. Anyway, this is a point. The smile on your face. Let me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand say you'll catch me if ever I fall. You said it best when you said nothing at all. It's like him now. Thank you.
Now if you keep chanting, Mr. Chiang can't come forward and speak. We have a few minutes left. Let's put our hands together quickly and invite Mr. Chiang to come forward.
Thank you, Lina, for your hello. Please talk to your mic. What a wonderful human recipe. You know what?
support Mina.
You know why I support Mina?
Live your dreams.
She is courageous.
She is courageous. My father supports my mother because he says that she is courageous.
She has asked difficult questions in Parliament,
She has asked difficult questions in Parliament,
which other MPs refuse to ask.
which other MPs refuse to ask.
Can you imagine all the difficult questions that to be asked of the minister?
Can you imagine all the difficult questions that would be asked, that we would have to have the minister ask them? Would they ask it?
For example, like the ISA exam.
For example, like the ISA exam.
Would they be allowed to return to Singapore's homeland?
Would they be allowed to return to Singapore? To their homeland?
In fact, I read a paper, one of them died in England, and before he died in one actress we sent to Singapore.
My father had read in the newspaper that one of them had passed away in the UK. And he had actually asked to come back to Singapore, for his ashes to come back to Singapore.
When he died? When he died.
Yeah, when he died.
Consider Singaporean has to wait until he dies before he can return.
Fancy that a Singaporean has to wait until he dies before he returns to his homeland. Because he was exiled.
I know he's the handle the next year.
Oh, okay.
And thank you all for coming and standing so patiently.
Thank you all for coming and standing so patiently.
Let's put our hands together again and thank all the speakers. The last item that we need to do will be led by Mrs. Chiam.
Let's put our hands together, let's put our fists to our chest and let's say the national pledge together as we end tonight. All together, okay? 1, 2, 3. We, the citizens of Singapore, pledge ourselves as one united people, regardless of race, language, or religion, to build a democratic society based on justice and equality, so as to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night. Thank you.
Have a nice trip. Hope the MRT doesn't break down.
You want? I follow you the camera.
Huh?
As in the camera will be following you.
You follow
You take them. Yeah.
No, actually I need to ask them for permission before I ask the question. So you follow me. When I say okay, they pass me the mic.
No, I think thank you.
Sorry. Sorry, excuse me.
We love SPP!
Do you want to be in the shot together? Can I come? Okay, my first. We don't live in front of us right? Okay, Ken. So my first question is, why did you come down all the way here, even though you're not residents of Potong Pasir?
I think we just wanted to hear what Mrs. Lina Chiam is intending to do, not just as an MP for Potong Pasir, but as an MP in the Parliament. Because MP is not just to represent Potong Pasir, but also to talk about issues of national concern that affect all Singaporeans. So I think that's very important for all of us to know.
I noticed that you came here instead of Serangoon Stadium, where a much bigger rally is going on. So why is that?
Well, we have been running the rally, so we have heard some of what the Workers' Party has been talking about. But I think it's also important to support other political parties who are saying different things, who are working together to build a more cohesive opposition in Parliament.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's in the...
I need residents of find someone else.
Oh my god, you are next level already.
他是真的为了人民。
We're both in the shot.
Yeah. What is this about?
Okay, we're actually from Happy TV, so we're live streaming all the rallies all over Singapore on the internet. So it's going to be up on YouTube. Okay, my first question is, do you guys live here?
I live here. He has been a resident here. For 23 years.
I'm 30 years.
All 23 was under Chamsi Tong.
Okay, so my second question is, I apologize, you guys Singaporean, right, can vote?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, just to clarify.
It's a very sensitive issue.
Sorry lah.
Yeah,
Okay, my next question is, why do you think Sito Ipin won the last time?
I think Potong Pasir is going through a transition where there are a lot of new residents coming in and young families coming in. And also I think they were probably unaware or not really in touch with what Mr. Cham had done in the past. So I felt that was the reason. A lot of new residents coming in.
Okay, the point about new residents, I heard that's because of new electoral boundaries, which meant that new blocks kind of got lumped into Potong Pasir SMC. Is that true?
Our boundaries never got changed. The key difference was that there's a lot of condominiums, if you see along the periphery of Potong Pasir, it started to spring up. And then along Senate Estate as well, you can see a lot of new developments being built. But I think primarily was because I think the citizens over here, for being a former citizen, the amenities here were lacking tremendously. What kept us voting for the opposition was that we refused to give in to the carrot and stick approach by the incumbent parties. And we really loved Cham for the man he was. If you remember how he switched party from SDP to SPP, it was within a week or so, very short period, but he still won the election because of who he was and what he stood for. He's one guy who never went around the estate with any entourage, with any film fare. He would sit down, you can just have a chat with him and he'll talk to you. Whatever issues you raised with him, he would make sure he gets it done in his own way. But we always saw how difficult things was for him. If you remember his old Meet the People session corner, it was run down. But he still, regardless of the state, he still came up. He served the people with a heart. He was very sincere. That was what I think my parents, our families, all of us. And Melina Cham said, we grew up with her, holding lanterns and whatever functions they had. We were the ones with Mr. Cham, and we witnessed his soul and his sincerity towards the Potong Pasir residents.
Do you think that Mrs. Cham stands a better chance this time around compared to the last time?
I don't know, maybe he's a resident, he would now...
I think it's very hard to say. Definitely with all the new amenities and projects coming up, I'm not sure whether will people be swayed by that. Yeah, so I think we can only wait until after the results.
Okay, so as a supporter of Mrs. Cham, what would you say to people who are kind of sitting on the fence and unable to decide in Potong Pasir?
I think look at Mr. Cham's track record. Mr. Cham has been with him also for 27 years. And also, I feel that most projects are left dangling halfway now, which were not completed. So I feel even though the people who voted for PAP are even held at ransom because the projects are not completed and just left dangling before the elections. So I think Mr. Cham has given her words that she will take out the projects and do it in double time. Yeah.
Well, I think in terms of all these upgrades that are happening now, Mr. Cham had lobbied this for ages. In fact, I second what Mrs. Cham said. The plans were already in place. It's just that the funding never happened and there was no approvals or something along that lines. I recall how Mr. Cham used to lobby people to give donations to complete the block painting projects, but he still went ahead even though all the obstacles he faced. I remember he used to go cluster by cluster. After a few months, then he will pack up and then a new contractor will come in. He never gave up on the residents. So similarly, with all these carrots being thrown in, I hope it doesn't erode the essence of what Potong Pasir is all about. That we never ever, bend over for such materialistic or such propaganda, which is, I feel that it's unfair because it is, after all, state funds. And we all are, the electorate now is a bit more educated, so they are questioning and they shouldn't fall for such carrot and stick approach. I just hope that they can see broader issues and that don't get sucked into this politicking by the incumbent. But that said, I must say Sito has delivered. I'm very happy to see the NTUC back. Previously, I saw it being torn down. I saw the bus interchange being torn down. If you recall, even this entire estate, there's only one ATM machine out there. Before, it's still now one ATM become 3 ATMs. So he has delivered lah. So I just, to be honest, I'm also sitting on the fence where he will go. But to be fair to Sito, he has done his bit.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you.
You're what? Capturing your what? Everything your home for which week? Oh, okay. So you're gonna take down my comment or?
Yes, I'm gonna record down your
Okay.
Kind of like voices of the normal things right now. So you leave here and
Actually not.
Okay.
Cannot be interviewed.
So my first question maybe.
Cannot be interviewed.
Thanks, I'll spare you.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, brother. Okay, my first question. You live in Potong Pasir, right?
Yeah.
How long have you lived here?
My whole life.
Your whole life.
Yeah.
Okay. My first question is, why do you think Sito Ipin won in Potong Pasir the last time?
Actually, I thought that maybe people felt that Potong Pasir needed an upgrade. So, and it wasn't Cham Sitong standing for election at the time. So, people weren't sure of how Lina Cham would actually go about doing this election. So maybe that's why they decided to give Sito Iping a try and upgrade the facilities needed. Yeah.
Okay, so now you've heard what Mrs. Cham has said. She said that there was a lot of money, and she says that some of it wasn't spent very well. So given what she said and what you've witnessed over the past few years under Mr. Sito Ipin, do you think Mrs. Cham stands a better chance this time?
I would still think it's 50-50 because of probably the new residents as well. And all the condos around. Yeah. So I still think it's around 50-50.
Okay. So personally to you, which is more important to you? Getting access to upgrading funds, which means voting PAP, or getting an alternative voice in Parliament, which is Mrs. Cham, which is more important?
Most of the upgrades we already actually received already. So I actually think alternative voice is actually more important in the Parliament. We actually need more people to keep the government in check though, but not having I actually prefer, I think PAP for the government is good, but you actually need some people to actually keep them in check. Yeah.
Do you think Mrs. Cham would provide a good check to the PAP?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks bro.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Mrs. Cham is there.
Well, if you want.
Okay, you hold first, let me ask her permission.
the same thing as I've done as an NCMP. Ask difficult questions, asking questions for all Singaporeans.
Okay, tell me about the most difficult thing you faced as an NCMP when you were serving for the past 4 years. What's the most difficult thing that you faced?
I cannot recall any difficulty, but sometimes very challenging only. But I seem to enjoy my stint. But of course, it is very hectic at times, especially the budget time. Because we are given only about 10 days or 8 days, and we have to condense all our speeches within that day.
So it's a lot of hard work.
Oh, hard work, yes. Right.
Okay, most of our
audience... But hard work is okay, but I enjoyed it in a way, but a lot of hard work, you're right. Yes.
Most of our audience are young people. We are the Gen Y audience, we are the internet. So is there anything you would like to say to the Gen Y voters of Singapore?
Well, you tell them that Mr. Chiam and I are, hope to have a political awakening among the young people. Yes, and we will be their mentors if they want. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chiam. Thanks, good night. Sign out. Hi. Okay. Hi. This has been Happy TV reporting live from Potong Pasir Field outside St. Andrews Junior College. So we've just heard the speech given by Mrs. Lina Chiam, who is representing the Singapore People's Party in Potong Pasir. Mrs. Lina Chiam is of course the wife of Mr. Chiam See Tong. He's a long-time opposition stalwart in Singapore, possibly longest serving politician ever. Mr. Chiam See Tong was elected out of Parliament in 2011 because he chose to compete in Bishan Toa Payoh GRC, and he left Potong Pasir to Mrs. Chiam, who then lost to the PAP politician Mr. Sito Ipin. The crowd, you probably won't be able to see it just now, the crowd was about 3,000 to 4,000 people according to my estimates, and the crowd was mostly enthusiastic. I would say, cannot confirm, that the majority of the people here are actually Potong Pasir residents. Once again, a reminder that there are actually, I think, 9 rallies going on today. Besides this rally, there's also another gigantic rally going on in Serangoon Stadium, which traditionally has always been fully packed. So the fact that 3,000 to 4,000 people turn up here today is actually quite a feat. So to summarize what Mrs. Chiam said, she was mostly speaking about her experience as an NCMP, speaking up about issues across the board, including ISA, including municipal issues in Potong Pasir, and also fighting for wage increases for nurses. She has attended 113 out of 115 parliamentary sittings, which is quite a feat, which not many MPs can claim to have done. So I guess this is a summary of what has happened tonight. This has been Happy TV reporting from Potong Pasir, and thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.